Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another Kingdom Hearts news and information video. Today for you guys, we have some extremely juicy stuff to talk about, as last night Tetsuya Nomura went on to the Japanese Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Twitter account and posted out this brand new artwork right here to commemorate the 2nd anniversary of Kingdom Hearts Unchained's Key / Union Cross. Now this is the artwork as you guys can see on screen, and it is absolutely beautiful. Tetsuya Nomura has been on a roll as of recently with his new art pieces, and this right here gives us a look at, of course, the 5 dandelion leaders, all drawn in that spicy Nomura art style. So of course right here we have the Cherothy, we've got Ventus, Scold, Ephemera, Blaine, as well as Lumaria. Something really cool to point out about this is specifically looking at Blaine, he's not being all emo this time around, and we can actually see his eyes, which is pretty cool. I thought the whole mysterious, not showing your eyes and the fact that your hat's covering your eyes was sort of part of his character within Union Cross, but that wouldn't really seem like the case with Nomura actually just blatantly drawing his face right here. However, this is not really what has everyone talking and discussing stuff as of right now. More so, it's actually the hooded figure that's standing in the background. Now there are a total of 5 dandelion leaders, so why exactly do we have 6 people standing here? So yes, we now have the inclusion of this mysterious hooded figure, and generally with these art pieces that Tetsuya Nomura releases to commemorate certain anniversaries, generally give us a hint towards where the story is going to go next. So as the story progresses, we can pretty much presume that at some point this hooded figure will step into the picture. However, what we do need to talk about is who could this mysterious hooded figure be? Now, we don't really get any sort of clear indication as to possibly who this character could be, mainly because of the fact that their identity is concealed due to the organization cloak. However, we have been left with one pretty damn important hint in particular, and that is the flower in which the hooded figure is actually holding. Now, that flower right there is actually known as Bleeding Heart, or its scientific name known as Lamprocapinus spectabilis. Nailed it. And more specifically, the actual meaning behind this flower is where things get extremely interesting. So this is what the meaning described. Most blooms are bright pink or red for a romantic quality. The rarer white bleeding heart is considered a symbol of purity and innocence instead, especially to represent beautiful young woman who died in a tragic way. Now, who does that exactly remind you of, especially looking at that very final part of the description? It explains here that the rarer white bleeding heart, which is clearly the flower that the figure is holding, is a symbol of purity and innocence, especially to represent beautiful young woman who died in a tragic way. That of course points to none other than Strelitzia, because I mean, she got murdered. That in itself is a pretty tragic way to die. So this person right here undeniably must have something to do with Strelitzia. And the other crazier thing is, I mean, Strelitzia's name is actually named after a flower known as Bird of Paradise. And we know that Tetsuya Nomura is all about putting in symbolism into Kingdom Hearts. So it's definitely not crazy that a flower would indeed represent that of Strelitzia. So going back to it, this hint tells us that whoever this person is obviously has something to do with Strelitzia. Now, there's a couple of different possibilities in terms of who this person could be. First and foremost, let's talk about the possibility of this person right here being Strelitzia's nobody. Now right off the bat, just because this person is wearing a black hooded coat doesn't exactly mean that it is a nobody. We know for the most part that the Organization 13, which is made up of nobodies, represent and wear the black hooded coat. But just because somebody is wearing the black hooded coat does not straight out confirm that they are nobodies. However, the possibility of this person actually being Strelitzia's nobody is most certainly up there. Strelitzia did die and she did lose her heart, which is one of the fundamentals of actually becoming a nobody. However, where she would obtain the black hooded coat is another mystery as well. Although we do know that there are people in the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross time era who wear the black coat, mainly looking at Lushu and the Master of Masters, I don't think they would just hand over a black coat to Strelitzia for no good reason, so that's another mystery in itself. We also know that the black coats are used for protection when traveling through the corridors of darkness. this actually stops the user's heart from being affected by the darkness itself. So yeah, the codes aren't just there for an aesthetic reason, but they're actually there for magical purpose while traversing through the corridors of darkness. So perhaps maybe whoever this person might be, they too are also using the black coat in order to safely travel through the corridors of darkness. The second possibility right here is that of Lushu. We know that Lushu bears the black coat and that's what he wears all the time, just like the Master of Masters. However, Lushu was given strict instructions by the Master of Masters to watch as well as deliver a black box to an unknown location. We still don't really know too much about the black box or what's in it or where exactly Lushu is going with it, but we know as of right now that's currently what Lushu is up to. And by the end events of Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, we already see that Lushu is in the designated location as to where he actually has to deliver this black box, which we presume is somewhere in the Keyblade graveyard. However, maybe Lushu has caught on to the recent happenings of who was supposed to be the fifth leader being actually murdered, and maybe he has returned to that of Daybreak Town to actually intervene with what's currently going on. Maybe to avenge Strelitzia and find out who exactly murdered her? Now, I personally don't believe that this is Lushu. Upon first glance at the art, I presumed it was, mainly because Lushu wears the black coat, and we don't really know of any other people within the Union Cross timeline who wears the black coat aside from the Master of Masters. So at first glance, you would probably presume that it would be Lushu, and perhaps maybe that's what Square Enix are wanting us to think. The very final possibility that I'm thinking of is perhaps maybe someone who knows of Strelitzia. Now, I'm not exactly saying a friend, because from Strelitzia's character introduction, we can pretty much presume that she doesn't really have friends. But maybe it's someone close to her, maybe like a family member, perhaps maybe even a brother of sorts. Clearly, whoever this person is, they have something to do with Strelitzia, so maybe he's going to be thrown into the picture as a sort of person to avenge her death and to track down her murderer. Although I see this possibility being pretty far-fetched, because something like this doesn't usually happen in Kingdom Hearts. To just throw a new character in who once knew another character and that character died, so they're there to avenge that character, just kind of doesn't really seem like a Kingdom Hearts thing. And so I'm thinking that the possibility of this person actually being Strelitzia's nobody is extremely likely. However, we all guessed it, the introduction of Strelitzia was not just for no good reason, but rather there is a bigger picture right here. She wasn't just a character that was introduced for a mere 2 weeks and then killed off and replaced. It would definitely seem like there is something behind all of this. Okay, guys, that's all the Kingdom Hearts news and information for today. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is getting absolutely out of control, son. The story is going to places we've never damn well been before. It's taken this confusion and craziness level to a completely new level. Although within saying all of that, I'm honestly pretty excited to see where things go from here on out. Once again, I don't really agree with how Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is presented, but most certainly its story and lore that it contains is extremely interesting. But guys, I've been Cynical. In the comment section down below, let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions towards today's news and information. And until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.